the level of commitment that we need from our governments. So taxation or putting the burden on the consumer is only one way of solving the problem. Sikkim or Thailand or France are very, very small economies when it comes to looking at a large country like India. So what is the larger picture that the government of India or the people of India are going to do in the future is something that is going to be of immense importance for all of us. Plastics is just one issue. We've got a chronic problem of building of chemicals that we do not even know of. So every year, nearly 4,500 new chemicals are introduced into the environment and we don't even know about them. There are several pesticides that are introduced into India which have no clinical trial or field trials. They've been tried somewhere in Africa or in some other small country and are found fit for use in India. Consider this. In 1976, there was only one cancer ward in Kerala. And that was set up to look at for the background radiation that was coming from the black sands of monazite. Monazite is this beach sand that occurs in Kerala. It was done only preemptively because Indian rare earths was extracting thorium and monazite from the sands. But today, you have at least 18 hospitals in Kerala alone looking at cancer. Consider this. Until the 1980s, nobody knew about fertility, or rather infertility. When the first child was developed for fertility, absence of fertility in a woman, the baby that was born was Louise Brown. That was 1979. At that time, India did not have a single infertility clinic. But today, you would find IVF clinics all over the country, including in Kerala. That's because we are finding that men have very low sperm counts and women have very few ovaries or viable egg cells in their ovaries to develop into a full child. These are environmental consequences that we did not even anticipate. We know that these are that exist around us. They are largely attributable to chemicals, whether they are chemicals in air, water, food, whatever they may be. But the fact is, they are reaching into the ecosystem, getting into our bodies, and are making differences in our bodies that are irreversible. Whether they manifest themselves as cancer, whether they make us less fecal, less reproductive. That is the backlash that is happening of things that we have created for ourselves. Now, the challenge for us, therefore, is so large that we cannot deal with it in a piecemeal. If we are going to deal with air pollution this year, there are 10 other kinds of pollution that we have not even considered. And I think if you're not looking at single source problems, but start looking at larger sources, for example, let's address the problem of chemicals. Because once you address, say, chemicals, you address water pollution, you address air pollution, you address soil pollution, contamination of food, what happens in your bodies, the entire gamut. The question is that we need to ask is, what is it that we need to do and understand in terms of what's happening in the world outside, the synthetic world that we are creating for ourselves. It's a monster that we don't even see. Right? So I'm not going to pontificate more. It's a World Environment Day. We should celebrate trees. We should celebrate our ponds, our rivers, our streams. Monsoons are coming. Possibly the greatest natural event that happens on a yearly basis. We must celebrate it. This year again, the weathermen have said the monsoon is going to be suboptimal. Let's pray that it's going to be spread evenly across the country. It doesn't only drop itself in the Malabar coast because it creates problems. We saw it last year. It also creates problems for regions beyond the Malabar, which does not receive any rains. So the crisis for us, therefore, is to ensure that we have an even spread of the monsoons. Let's celebrate nature. Let's thank ourselves for what we have. Let's not destroy what we've got. Let's be very open and let's be very curious about why things are going wrong. Don't try looking for simple answers. The answers are not simple because problems have been created layer upon layer by agencies that are complicit. A lot of them are conflicted. They want certain things to go the way they are, whether they are oil companies, chemical companies, pesticide companies. They don't want to change their businesses because the profits are high. The medical business, I work very closely with doctors, but they know that they are now at a point that it is no longer feasible for them to treat every individual because everybody is manifesting in some way or the other the repercussions of the bad influences of a deteriorating environment, whether it's air, water pollution, food contamination. You are seeing it just about in every child now. So with that, let's stay positive and let's try making a difference in our lifetime. Let's make sure that if you are not able to change the society, at least change yourself, change your small nuclear family. I think that's a great beginning. And that's how great nations work. Ravi just spoke about Estonia, very close-knit community, very traditional, believe in trees, they historically believed in trees, same as Finland, very, very committed to nature. So let's do that. We should celebrate our sacred groves, our waters, our streams, our temple tanks. All of those are something that are traditional. Let's restore them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge about